he had Royce sitting with the First Lady in the First Lady box, and she flawlessly, as she does everything, pinned the medal on. I was like, only Melania could, like, in the perfect suit with the perfect hair and the perfect close-up on her 55-year-old skin. She looks stunning. I was like, few of us could withstand a close-up that close that they kept doing on her face, but she's Melania Trump. She pinned it on perfectly. It went on just right. And it was such a sweet moment when he honored Royce Williams, who, no, he's not young and robust, but it's another badass story spanning the generations. Trump loves military heroes for all of his bone spur issues and all that. He loves and respects the military. And here is a bit of that in SOT 14.
In the skies over Korea in 1952, flying through blizzard conditions, his squadron was ambushed by 7 Soviet fighter planes. Despite being massively outnumbered and outgunned, Royce led the takedown of 4 enemy jets and almost destroyed the others, vanquishing his adversaries while taking 263 bullets to his own plane and being seriously hurt. His story was secret for over 50 years, but tonight, at 100 years old, this brave Navy captain is finally getting the recognition he deserves. Royce, please stand up, and I will ask the First Lady of the United States to present Captain Royce Williams with his Congressional Medal of Honor.
All right, I teared up a little bit at that one, you guys. And let me just give you a little addendum, okay? Royce Williams enlisted after Pearl Harbor in 1941. For 35 minutes, he engaged solo in an aerial dogfight with 7 Soviet MiG pilots, downing at least 4 jets before escaping to land his heavily damaged F-9F-5 Panther jet on a U.S. aircraft carrier. His aerial heroics have been a legend for decades among pilots coming up through the Navy's Top Gun school. He is the real-life maverick who lives in, like, respect, forever respect and heroism status within Top Gun as a result of that incident that was recorded in Soviet Union military history. But no trace of his daring flight on November 18th, 1952 exists in the U.S. military archives. Like I said, he didn't want it. He's kept it a secret. He didn't even talk to his wife about it. The fact that it happened and he made it happen was enough for him. But as he ends it gets near the end of life, people are thinking about how they can pay tribute to this guy. And asked in 2022, when Joe Biden was the commander-in-chief, how it would feel to be awarded the Medal of Honor now, Royce Williams took a few seconds to consider his answer. Quote, "If it happened, I'd be awed. I wish my dad could know. It would mean even more to my friends to know that I finally received it." All of his friends are probably gone, long gone. Of course, his parents, long gone. Virtually everyone he grew up with and fought in wars with and participated with and who made him the man he is probably gone. And President Donald Trump said, "Royce Williams, you're getting your honor." And not just any honor, but the highest honor you can get, the Congressional Medal of Honor. I'm sorry, but if that doesn't move you, you have no heart. Tom, that is one for the storybooks.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, it was chilling last night. And then even watching it now, again, you get chills. The stories of heroism are, and bravery are spectacular, and they are the best of us. And that's why Trump highlighted them and we recognize them. Can I go back to the hockey team for just a second? You talk about masculine energy. Getting your tooth knocked out and then skating around with a bloody mouth and scoring the winning goal. Teeth. Yeah, I mean, talk about an iconic photo of him with like the flag draped over him with a smile, and he's missing his main tooth. That guy's a stud. And you talk about like the 1980 team and Mike Ruzioni and all those guys. Oh my gosh. I mean, so those guys are going to go down in history. And it's nice that Connor Hellebuck's going to get an award, and apparently, as Trump told the story, they all said, raised their hands immediately and said, yeah, he should get it. But what a remarkable team. And the other thing, Trump complimented the Canadian team about what a good team they were and how tough they were, but we prevailed. So, but the other stories are just remarkable as well. And as I said,
and Trump also pointed out that the women's team has accepted an invitation to go to the White House. So good for them.
Yes. And that was obviously
they were great too.
Controversy. Yeah. I mean,
they were. Yeah. Megyn Keller. Go Megyn Keller.
I just hate it when politics invades sports. Sports is like, I grew up playing sports. I played sports in college. There's my Princeton football helmet right there. And I loved the fact sports is the purest meritocracy there is. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what religion. None of that matters. It matters, are you good? And if you're good enough to play and you can help the team, you're on the field and you are a brother with everybody or a sister with everybody else who's out there working toward a singular goal. And that's what made this hockey team great. I mean, these guys were not the best players in the world, but they played together as a team and were able to achieve their goal. And that's what makes it such a great story.
Yeah. I think also, I mean, the degree to which the hockey team themselves have kept this above politics is noteworthy as well. I think that they've really sort of framed this all not as a political thing, but as they're proud to be Americans. They're proud to be invited by the president, and they're proud to.
But it's the media that does it too.
Yeah, but you know,
it's the media. It's the disgusting sports journalists. I didn't quite realize how disgusting leftist the sports journalism industry was. I should have just assumed, but since I never read those articles, I wasn't totally tuned in.
Right.
They're the ones who laid all these traps for these athletes and who had the most negative takes on everything the athletes did, especially this hockey team. Mm-hmm. F those guys. Keep going, Andrew.
Well, I was just going to say, on the Korean War front, people should take this as an opportunity to think a little bit about the Korean War as well. People don't think about it that often. But it is interesting, just people should note that the aerial war in Korea was really between the Soviet Union and the United States. And it doesn't get that much coverage, but it really was U.S. and Soviet pilots facing off in these dogfights, and it's a remarkable story. And this is obviously a very important chapter of it. But the entire story of the aerial war of the Korean conflict is worth knowing.
Imagine this guy having laid it all on the line, having risked his life, having taken down 4 Soviet MiGs, legend at Top Gun, not talking about it, not telling his wife about it, but secretly, when asked, just a few years ago. So he must have been, 96 at the time? Mm. What would it be like to get, a medal? Oh, gee, it would mean so much. Right. I'd only wish my dad could see it. Of course, then Joe Biden didn't give it to him. But President Trump does it. And any sane human is deeply moved by that story and by watching that happen. And yet, here was the Democrat reaction. Okay, here's Democrat Representative Robin Kelly on a YouTube channel where they were having State of the People, and live reaction to what Trump was doing. Look at this abomination.
I was there, and it was as horrific as I thought it would be.
Did you leave early?
Absolutely.
It was like an award show. You get a medal. You get a medal. You get a medal. That's literally, Mo just said, you get a car, you get a car. Y'all are on the same page.
That is so disgusting. She wasn't the only one. Look at SOT 35, CNN's Abby Phillip.
But he utilized almost like these game show type moments where you're seeing awards being presented to really bring these moments of togetherness that otherwise might not have been there.
Game show. Fuck her. I'm sorry. That enrages me. That deeply enrages me. She's never donned the uniform. She's never risked her life for her country. Did she ever rappel out of a helicopter and save 146 people? I don't remember seeing that. Did she bring down 4 Soviet MiGs over Korea after having fought in every war during the course of her lifetime? I don't remember that. Did she even make a U.S. gold-winning sports team of any kind when the odds were stacked against her and the score was tied and all the pressure was on, and save the team from certain defeat. She's never done anything. She sat in that fucking anchor chair. That's all she's ever done. How dare she call it a game show? How dare this Representative Megyn Kelly, thank God no relation, mock the Medal of Honor as it's like the Oprah, you get a medal and you get a medal. Perhaps we should have waited longer, Robin, to like when poor Royce was 200. Maybe that would make you happy. Like the nerve of these people. And I just have one more I've got to show you because I listen to the New York Times, the Daily Podcast. I like to keep my finger on the pulse of what the left is saying and doing. They did it in a more clever, tricky way, but the message was exactly the same. Listen here to the chief Washington correspondent, David Sanger, speaking with, it was Michael Barbaro today, SOT 36.
I'm curious, David, as a veteran of State of the Unions, and also as someone who's covered military affairs in your day, how you thought about all of the military awards that the president bestowed during this speech. I tend to think of those as awards typically given in solemn, much more intimate ceremonies. This is the most public possible venue, a president's State of the Union, and thus has a bit of a partisan tinge. A Purple Heart was given out. Congressional Medals of Honor were given out. Was that celebrating American heroism? Was that in some ways exploiting it?
I think there was an element of showmanship and an element of exploitation to it as well, because what he was doing was combining the experiences of these people in just wars, World War II, and so forth. Korea, where we were fighting for a nascent democracy, and managing to try to merge that with what many would argue were less clear uses of American power.
And potentially even illegal.
And potentially illegal. And we're headed to that debate about Iran, for sure, if he went ahead. So this is sort of taking the Ronald Reagan idea of putting prominent guests and heroes in the State of the Union audience and moving it to the next level by awarding them these medals in front of the entire Congress.
Yes, it would have been much better if we had hidden them into private medal ceremonies that no one other than the core military brothers would have been allowed to see. That would have been much better for Royce Williams and for Eric Slover and for Scott Ruskin, to have no one see them receive these honors. These incredible feats of courage should have been dealt with behind the scenes so that they couldn't actually be appreciated by the American public. Do you see how insane that is, Carl? I ask you to speak for these moronic journalists.
Yeah, I will. What David Sanger is, he's specifically thinking not of the guy, 100-year-old hero, but he's thinking of the pilot who, led the raid that got Maduro. He's thinking, okay, we're going to venerate this guy so that maybe you won't think about Maduro and his wife are in a prison in New York and, who's running that country. And by the way, Trump did volunteer that we've stolen $100 billion of their oil. That was just so leading with his chin and nobody said anything about it. I think David Sanger's point is right. Trump's not dumb. He's trying to get support for the military. And so you have to cheer this hero, and maybe you won't notice over here. But I don't know, you have misgivings.
Tom is literally moving in his seat.
Misgivings about
Do you see what I have to deal with 5 days a week, Megyn? Do you see this?
It's a lot, Tom. It's a lot, Tom Bevan.
So sometimes it's 2-on-1. I mean, I got to battle with these guys, and
Well,
I love them. They're my brothers, but I think I should get a medal.
Yeah, you should be getting a Purple Heart. Because look, there's no accident that Carl seized on David Sanger and tried to zero in, because that was the least offensive of the three. But it was, in a way, the most offensive because it was the largest platform.
Right.
It was the New York Times Daily Podcast, which is a huge podcast, and he's laying the foundation for all the other leftists to object to the medal giving. It should have been done in private. That's how Michael Barbaro set it up. Normally, this is done in a solemn, much more intimate venue. This was much more public.
That's a dumb thing
celebration
to say.
of American heroism.
Sure,
Was it right? But it's like they objected. You know why they objected? Because it led to applause to the Trump administration, because in Trump's presence, Andrew, people were applauding. They appreciated that he pinned the medal on Royce Williams, and they didn't like it. The New York Times didn't like it. This creep Megyn Kelly didn't like it, and neither did Abby Phillip, who doesn't like anything that reflects well, I'm sure, on the military, but certainly President Trump. International disputes, inflation, rising national debt, digital currency. There's a never-ending list of reasons gold has risen over 700% in the last 20 years. And a never-ending list of reasons smart Americans diversify a portion of their savings into precious metals with Birch Gold Group. Gold can thrive during uncertainty, which is why it's a crucial part of a balanced financial strategy. It gives you peace of mind, given all the events that could impact the U.S. economy. See if holding gold in a tax-sheltered retirement account is right for you. Birch Gold can help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. Just text MK to the number 989898 to receive your free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, just useful information. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, consider letting Birch Gold help you diversify with gold so you too can have peace of mind, regardless of the uncertainty. Text MK to the number 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.